Across our planet, as the sun's warmth retreats and darkness lengthens, winter descends with a silent, icy authority. The world is transformed. Rivers freeze into glassy ribbons, forests stand cloaked in white silence, and the air itself seems to crystallize, biting at every living thing that dares to move. It is a season of profound, almost haunting beauty, but beneath the surface lies a world of immense challenge and peril. The snow muffles sound, but it cannot hide the struggle for survival that unfolds with every passing day. For the animal kingdom, winter is the ultimate test, a relentless gauntlet where life hangs in a delicate, ever-shifting balance. Every creature, from the smallest mouse to the mightiest predator, must confront the season's merciless trials. In the world's coldest corners, from the jagged peaks of the Rocky Mountains to the endless frozen expanse of Antarctica, animals have evolved extraordinary strategies to endure the biting winds, the deep, suffocating snow, and the ever-present scarcity of food. Here the environment is not just cold, it is a force that shapes every heartbeat, every breath, every decision. This is a story of resilience and ingenuity, of the powerful, unyielding drive to live. It is a drama that unfolds every year in the harshest classrooms on Earth, where only the most adaptable survive. Each species faces its own unique set of trials. The snow conceals both danger and opportunity, and every animal must read its secrets to survive. Some must migrate over vast distances, chasing the retreating sun, their journeys stretching across continents in search of food and warmth. The sky becomes a highway for survival, and every mile flown is a victory against the cold. Others must stand their ground, bracing themselves against the full force of the storm. They endure blizzards that strip the landscape bare, winds that howl like ancient spirits, and temperatures that plunge far below freezing. To survive, they have developed specialized bodies, thick fur, dense feathers, layers of fat. Some build intricate shelters, while others rely on remarkable social structures, huddling together for warmth or working as a team to find scarce resources. It is a time when every calorie counts, every decision matters, and the line between life and death is razor thin. The search for food becomes a daily battle, and the weak or unwary quickly fall behind. For many, winter is a relentless battle against the elements, a period of hunger and hardship that pushes them to the very limits of their endurance. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, life finds a way to persist, to adapt, to flourish in the most forbidding of landscapes. The strategies for survival are as varied and as fascinating as the animals themselves. Some cache food in secret stores, others slow their heartbeats and slip into torpor, conserving precious energy until the thaw. Some will engage in monumental battles, risking injury and exhaustion to ensure their lineage continues. The struggle for dominance and the right to mate is as fierce as the winter itself. Others will cooperate in vast numbers, sharing warmth and protection. In these moments, the power of unity becomes a shield against the cold, a testament to the strength found in community. There are those who hunt with breathtaking stealth, using the snow as their ally. Camouflaged, silent and deadly, every movement is calculated, every step a matter of survival. And there are those who hide beneath winter's insulating blanket, carving out secret worlds in the snow, waiting for the promise of spring. Here, beneath the surface, life pulses quietly, hidden from the storm above. From the smallest vole to the largest bear, each has a part to play in this grand seasonal narrative. Some sleep through the worst, their bodies slowed to a near standstill, while others remain ever vigilant, braving the cold in search of sustenance. Their stories are a testament to the incredible power of adaptation and the intricate web of life that connects all living things. Every track in the snow tells a tale of struggle, ingenuity, and hope. In the following chapters, we will journey deeper into these frozen worlds, bearing witness to the struggles and triumphs that define winter's reign. We will observe the raw power of bighorn sheep clashing on a mountainside, their battles echoing through the cold air. We will feel the profound dedication of an emperor penguin father, steadfastly guarding his precious egg against the merciless wind. And we will understand the desperate measures of walruses, packed tightly on shrinking coastlines, their survival hanging by a thread. We will see how predators and prey have adapted to a world transformed by ice and snow, their every move a dance between hunger and hope. This is a journey that reveals not just the hardships of winter, but the astonishing and inspiring ways that life persists against all odds, a spectacle of nature's enduring spirit written in frost and fire, in the heart of the coldest season. High in the rugged, wind-swept peaks of the Rocky Mountains, as the first breath of winter chills the air and frost clings to every branch, a primal drama begins to unfold. Here, in a world sculpted by ice and stone, the Rocky Mountain Bighorn sheep reigns as a symbol of resilience and adaptation. These magnificent animals gather in tight-knit herds, their thick, double-layered coats insulating them from the biting cold. The bighorn sheep's dense, woolly underfur traps precious body heat, while their coarse outer hair sheds snow and moisture, allowing them to endure temperatures that plunge far below freezing. As winter approaches, the season of the rut begins, a time of intense competition that will decide the future of the flock. The rams, with their massive spiraling horns, stand alert against the backdrop of swirling snow, their breath steaming in the frigid air. Before the heavy snows arrive, the powerful rams must establish their dominance and win the right to mate. Their horns, weighing up to 30 pounds, are not just weapons. They are badges of age, strength, and survival, grown over years of enduring the mountain's harshest trials. A young, 6-year-old ram, his horns not yet fully curled, may challenge a seasoned veteran, an 8-year-old in his prime, whose massive horns bear the scars of countless battles. The challenge is issued not with a roar, but with subtle body language, a flick of the tongue, a sideways kick, a deliberate lowering of the head, each gesture a silent message in the ancient language of survival. The older, larger ram responds with the low stretch, a posture of dominance and invitation to battle, his muscles tensed beneath his thick winter coat, ready for the coming clash. Then the confrontation erupts. The two titans rear up on powerful hind legs, launching themselves forward with explosive force. Their hooves dig into the icy ground, and they collide with a thunderous crack that echoes through the silent, snow-laden valleys. Their heads meet at speeds exceeding 20 miles per hour, the impact reverberating through their massive horns. For most creatures, such a blow would be fatal, but the bighorn sheep are marvels of natural engineering. Built for battle, these rams shake off the collision, their bodies absorbing the shock with astonishing resilience. Their skulls are reinforced with a double layer of bone, and a complex network of sutures and air pockets acts as a natural crash helmet, dispersing the force and protecting their brains from the tremendous shock of each collision. The horns themselves are masterpieces of adaptation, dense keratin-wrapped bone growing throughout the ram's life, recording every victory and defeat in their ridged, spiraling curves. The sound of their horns clashing, sharp and resonant, echoes like a rifle shot across the frozen valleys, carrying for more than a mile through the crisp mountain air. These battles are not brief skirmishes. They can last for hours, each ram absorbing dozens of bone-jarring blows, their breath visible in the cold, their bodies locked in a grueling test of endurance and willpower. As exhaustion sets in, the ram's sides heave, and their muscles tremble, but neither yields easily. Each is driven by instinct, by the promise of passing on his genes to the next generation. The fight is a spectacle of raw power and ancient ritual, but it serves a vital purpose in the harsh world of the high mountains. Only the strongest, healthiest, and most resilient rams will father the next generation of lambs. These lambs, born in the safety of spring's alpine meadows, inherit the hard-won strength and adaptations of their fathers, thick coats, sure-footed agility, and the instinct to survive in a world of extremes. Ultimately, one ram must yield, lowering his head in submission, his body aching but his spirit unbroken. The younger challenger, having tested his limits against the mountain's finest, turns away, retreating into the snowy wilderness. He will survive the winter, learning from defeat, and perhaps return next year, stronger and wiser. Alone, he navigates the treacherous slopes, his split hooves gripping the icy rock, his keen eyes scanning for predators and hidden dangers beneath the snow. Every day is a test of balance, strength, and survival. The victorious ram stands tall on a windswept ridge, his silhouette framed against the winter sky. He has proven his worth, securing his legacy and the future of his kind. In this unforgiving realm, where blizzards sweep across the peaks and food is scarce, every adaptation is a lifeline. The bighorn sheep's keen senses, powerful bodies, and indomitable spirit are the keys to their survival. This violent, seasonal ritual is a fundamental part of life in the high mountains, a brutal but necessary process that fortifies the species, ensuring its continued existence in a world where winter is always just around the corner, ready to test the strength of all who call these mountains home. In the most frigid wilderness on Earth, Antarctica, the emperor penguin stands as a testament to nature's resilience, braving the relentless winter with unwavering determination. As the sun dips below the horizon for months on end, plunging the continent into perpetual darkness, these remarkable birds begin their legendary march inland, away from the open water, and into the heart of the frozen expanse. They endure conditions that defy imagination, temperatures plummeting to 60 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, battered by winds that can howl at 120 miles per hour. Their dense, layered plumage and a thick layer of blubber insulate them from the biting cold, while their compact bodies minimize heat loss. On the vast, featureless sea ice, emperor penguins gather in immense colonies, sometimes numbering in the tens of thousands. This congregation is not only for breeding, but also for survival, as their collective presence forms a living shield against the elements. In the heart of winter, they form tightly packed huddles, each bird pressing against its neighbors. This remarkable social behavior allows them to share warmth, rotating positions so that every individual spends time both on the frigid outer edge and in the warmer center. The breeding cycle begins with a delicate courtship, as pairs engage in synchronized movements and gentle vocalizations, strengthening their bond amidst the icy silence. The female lays a single, precious egg, the culmination of weeks of energy investment. This egg is cradled carefully on her feet, protected from the lethal cold by a special brood pouch of feathered skin. Exhausted from the effort, the female must soon depart, embarking on a perilous journey across the frozen wasteland to the distant ocean, where she will replenish her depleted reserves. Before she leaves, a critical moment unfolds. The egg must be transferred from her feet to those of her mate, a maneuver requiring perfect coordination and trust. The male gently rolls the egg onto his own feet, enveloping it in his brood pouch. This act is fraught with risk, for even a brief contact with the ice can be fatal to the developing chick within. The exchange is a race against time, as the egg's exposure to the ice must be minimized to prevent it from freezing. The survival of their offspring depends entirely on this seamless, synchronized maneuver, a testament to the pair's instinctive cooperation. With the transfer complete, the female departs, leaving the male to begin his solitary vigil. For more than 2 months he will fast, relying on stored body fat, while he incubates the egg through the harshest conditions on Earth. The female's journey to the sea is fraught with danger. She must navigate shifting ice, hidden crevasses, and blinding storms, sometimes traveling up to 100 miles to reach the life-sustaining ocean. Her trek is a relentless battle against the elements, where every step is a test of endurance and instinct. Upon reaching the frigid waters, just below freezing, she transforms into a masterful hunter, her streamlined body perfectly adapted for the aquatic world. she can dive to depths of over 1,500 feet and remain submerged for more than 20 minutes, pursuing fish, squid, and krill with astonishing agility and speed. Yet, the ocean is not without peril. Lurking beneath the ice, the leopard seal waits in ambush, a formidable predator that tests the penguin's reflexes and cunning. To evade these hunters, emperor penguins employ a remarkable defense, releasing a burst of air bubbles from their feathers, creating a shimmering screen that confuses and distracts their pursuers. This ingenious adaptation grants them precious seconds to escape, a vital edge in the constant struggle for survival beneath the ice. For weeks the female feasts, building up her strength and storing food in her body, preparing for the long journey back and the demands of feeding her soon-to-hatch chick. Her return is a race against time, for the life of her chick and the future of her lineage depend on her successful journey across the ice. Meanwhile, on the ice, the male endures the heart of the Antarctic winter, steadfastly guarding the fragile promise of new life. His patience and sacrifice, mirrored by every member of the colony, ensure the survival of the next generation in one of the harshest environments on the planet. As the Antarctic sun dips below the horizon and the world turns to ice, the male emperor penguin stands alone, his mate vanishing into the endless white. This moment marks the beginning of a profound ordeal, one defined by unwavering devotion, selflessness, and the will to nurture life against all odds. Now the fragile egg rests on his feet, cradled beneath a protective fold of feathered skin, the brood pouch. Every heartbeat, every shiver is a silent promise to the life growing within. He must keep the egg warm, never letting it touch the ice, for even a moment's exposure could mean the end. For nearly 4 endless, sunless months, he will endure the heart of the Antarctic winter. The world around him is a frozen wasteland, battered by blizzards and plunged into darkness. He will not eat, not even once, relying solely on the fat reserves he built up before the breeding season began. As the days stretch into weeks, his body withers. He may lose up to 40% of his weight, each day a battle between hunger and hope. Yet he remains steadfast, his sacrifice written in every hollowed contour and weary movement. He is not alone in this trial. All around him other fathers stand shoulder to shoulder, each one a sentinel of life, each one bound by the same silent vow. Together, thousands of fathers form a living fortress, huddling tightly to share warmth. The polar winds howl, but within the mass a fragile warmth endures, a testament to unity and shared purpose. The colony becomes a shifting, breathing shield against the cold. Each bird presses close, the boundaries between individuals blurring in the struggle for survival. Those on the outer edge face the full fury of the storm, their bodies battered by ice and wind. Yet the colony moves as one, a single organism with a singular goal: to protect the next generation. Slowly, methodically, the penguins rotate. Those who have braved the coldest winds are welcomed into the warmer center, while others take their place on the perimeter. This constant, silent choreography ensures that no father is left to freeze alone. It is a dance of survival, a testament to cooperation and the unspoken bond that ties these fathers together. Each one endures for his chick and for the future of the colony. After 2 months of tireless vigilance, a faint tapping breaks the silence. The egg trembles, a tiny crack forming, a heartbeat of hope in the frozen dark. The chick's struggle to emerge is slow and exhausting, sometimes taking up to 3 days. Each moment is a test of endurance for both father and offspring. At last, the chick emerges, small, shivering and nearly naked, its thin down offering little protection from the merciless cold. It is utterly dependent, its survival balanced on a knife's edge. Instinctively, the father tucks his chick into the warmth of his brood pouch, shielding it from the icy wind. His body, already weakened, becomes the chick's only refuge. Despite his own hunger, he produces a few precious meals from a special gland in his throat, a final act of devotion, giving the last of his strength to his newborn. But the ordeal is not over. If the mother is delayed, the father faces an agonizing choice: abandon his chick to save himself, or remain and risk perishing together. The weight of this decision is immense, a true measure of sacrifice. Just as hope begins to fade, distant shapes appear on the horizon. The females return from the sea, bellies full, bringing the promise of life. The colony erupts in a chorus of calls, tens of thousands of voices rising in the frozen air. Each mother searches for her family, guided by instinct and memory. Amid the chaos, each mother finds her mate and chick by their unique calls, a miracle of recognition, a reunion forged by love and necessity. The reunion is joyous and urgent. The mother regurgitates the food she has carried for weeks, nourishing her chick and taking over its care. The father, his duty fulfilled, can finally rest. Exhausted and gaunt, the father turns toward the distant ocean. Each step is heavy, but he is driven by the hope of renewal. His sacrifice has given his chick a chance at life, a testament to the extraordinary power of parental care and the enduring spirit of the emperor penguin. For the Pacific walrus, life is inextricably linked to the ever-shifting sea ice. These immense marine mammals are true denizens of the Arctic, their existence woven into the frozen tapestry of the North. The vast floating platforms of ice are more than just a resting place. They are nurseries, sanctuaries, and the very foundation of walrus society. Here, mothers cradle their calves, nursing them in the shelter of the floes, while adults recuperate between long, arduous foraging dives to the shadowy seafloor. The ice is their home, their nursery, and their refuge from the dangers that lurk in the open water and on land. But as the Arctic sun climbs higher and winter's grip loosens, the sea ice begins to melt and retreat, breaking apart into smaller floes and opening vast stretches of water. This transformation triggers one of nature's great migrations. Walruses, sensing the changing conditions, gather at the ice edge and begin their journey southward, swimming in great herds toward the distant coastlines of the Chukchi Sea. Forced away from their preferred icy habitat, they must seek refuge on solid land, a far more perilous alternative. The beaches become crowded, noisy, and dangerous. Tens of thousands of walruses haul out onto narrow strips of shoreline, forming immense colonies that stretch as far as the eye can see. The scene is one of chaos and density, with bodies pressed tightly together, each animal vying for space and safety. Up to 20,000 walruses, each weighing over a ton, can crowd onto a single stretch of coastline, their sheer numbers a testament to their social nature and the scarcity of suitable habitat. In these tight quarters, danger is ever present. The risk of trampling is high, especially for the youngest calves, who are dwarfed by the massive adults around them. The weight and movement of the colony can become a deadly trap, and a 200-pound calf can easily be crushed in a sudden stampede. Stampedes can be triggered by the slightest disturbance, a sudden noise, a shift in the wind, or the scent of a predator. The mere presence of a polar bear nearby can send the entire colony surging toward the water in a desperate rush for safety. Even a loud noise overhead can spark panic, sending waves of walruses crashing into one another. Sometimes it is simply an internal squabble, a clash of tusks and tempers that sets off the chaos. As the first snows of winter begin to fall, a sense of urgency sweeps through the colony. The snow signals the return of the ice, and with it the promise of safety. The sea begins to freeze once more, forming new platforms that beckon the walruses away from the crowded beaches. The walruses respond instinctively, moving en masse toward the forming ice, eager to reclaim their true home. Clambering onto the new floes, they spread out across the frozen expanse, leaving the dangers of land behind. On the ice, life becomes safer and more orderly. The vast platforms allow the walruses to rest, socialize, and care for their young in relative peace. The herd can spread out, reducing the risk of accidental injury and giving each animal the space it needs. The ice provides ample room for the colony, and the walruses can finally rest properly between their foraging dives. Feeding is a central part of walrus life. They dive to the ocean floor, using their sensitive whiskers to detect clams, mussels, and other invertebrates buried in the mud. With powerful suction, they extract their prey, returning to the ice to digest and rest. The ice also becomes a stage for social interaction. Males display their dominance, brandishing their long, formidable tusks in ritualized contests. Disputes are settled with displays of strength and posturing, but the open space of the ice reduces the risk of deadly crushes. For the newborn pups, the return to the ice marks the beginning of their education. Under the watchful eye of their mothers, they learn the skills they will need to survive in this harsh world. The calves receive their first swimming lessons in the frigid waters, learning to navigate the icy currents and haul themselves onto the slippery flows. Thick layers of blubber insulate them from the biting cold, a vital adaptation that allows them to thrive in the Arctic's extreme conditions. The walrus is a nomad, forever following the rhythm of the ice. As the seasons change, so too does their world, and they must move with it to survive. The cycle of melting and freezing dictates their migrations, drawing them north in the spring and south as the ice retreats. Their lives are a constant journey, always in search of the perfect balance between ice, food, and safety. The walrus's survival depends on this frozen, shifting world. Every adaptation, every behavior is shaped by the presence or absence of sea ice. As the climate changes and the ice diminishes, the walrus faces an uncertain future, its fate tied to the fate of the Arctic itself. The story of the Pacific walrus is a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between a species and its environment, a balance that is now more fragile than ever. In the frozen heart of North America, winter transforms the landscape into a vast, silent expanse of white, where only the most resilient and cunning creatures survive. For the predators that call this icy wilderness home, survival demands a remarkable blend of adaptation, patience, and ingenuity. Each species has evolved unique strategies to hunt, endure, and thrive in the relentless cold. Along the mighty Mississippi River in Minnesota, the elusive bobcat becomes a master of winter's challenges. With its dense, spotted fur, providing both warmth and camouflage, the bobcat waits motionless on a snowy riverbank, blending seamlessly into the frosted landscape. The river, which acts as a barrier for much of the year, is transformed by the cold into a solid bridge of ice, opening up new territories and hunting grounds that were once inaccessible. Fresh tracks in the snow reveal the movement of prey, and the bobcat's keen senses are on high alert, every muscle poised for action. With silent, deliberate steps, the bobcat stalks its quarry, using the cover of snow-laden branches and the muffled silence of winter to its advantage. Its large, fur-covered paws act like natural snowshoes, distributing its weight and allowing it to move quietly atop the powdery surface. The bobcat's sharp eyes catch the movement of a snowshoe hare, a common winter prey. The hare, with its own white winter coat, is built for speed and agility, but deep snow slows its escape, making it vulnerable. The rabbit struggles through the thick drifts, its powerful hind legs kicking up flurries of snow. But the bobcat's patience and precision give it the upper hand. With a sudden burst of speed, the bobcat pounces, securing a vital meal. Every successful hunt is a triumph, providing the energy needed to withstand the bitter cold and long, hungry nights. But the bobcat is not the only predator to master the winter. High above the snow-covered ground, the great grey owl reigns as a silent and formidable hunter. One of the largest owls in the world, it is perfectly adapted for life in the frozen north. Its broad, rounded face acts as a parabolic dish, channeling the faintest sounds toward its asymmetrical ears. This extraordinary adaptation allows the owl to detect the subtle movements of prey hidden beneath layers of snow. Beneath the snow, voles and other small rodents create intricate tunnel systems, insulated from the worst of the cold, but not from the owl's acute hearing. The owl can pinpoint the exact location of a vole scurrying nearly 2 feet below the surface. Once it locks onto its target, the owl launches from its perch, gliding silently before plunging feet first into the snow with astonishing accuracy, breaking through the crust to snatch its prey. The great grey owl's flight is nearly soundless thanks to specialized comb-like serrations on its wing feathers that disrupt airflow and muffle noise. This stealthy approach gives prey no warning of the danger above. In the world of the vole, the owl is a ghost, an unseen, unheard threat that strikes with deadly precision. For the small mammals hidden beneath the snow, the owl's presence is a constant, invisible danger, a silent death from above. This remarkable auditory adaptation allows the great grey owl to hunt even in total darkness or during the dim, sunless days of winter, when other predators might go hungry. Whether under the pale glow of the moon or the faint light of a winter afternoon, the owl's mastery of sound and silence ensures its survival. The deep snow, which hinders many hunters, becomes an advantage for the owl, concealing its approach and amplifying the sounds of its prey. Each successful hunt is a testament to the owl's specialization, a key to thriving in a world where food is scarce and the cold is unrelenting. The bobcat and the great grey owl, though vastly different, are united by their relentless pursuit of survival. Each has honed its senses and skills to perfection, carving out a niche in the frozen wilderness. These predators showcase 2 distinct, yet equally effective, strategies for winter hunting, one relying on patience, stealth, and the strategic use of the frozen landscape, the other employing highly specialized sensory abilities to access a hidden world beneath the snow. Both must contend with the biting cold, the scarcity of prey, and the constant threat of starvation. Yet, their evolutionary adaptations, whether it's the bobcat's stealth and agility or the owl's silent flight and acute hearing, give them the edge they need to endure. Through blizzards and biting winds, these predators persist, their bodies and behaviors shaped by countless generations of survival in the harshest of seasons. They are living testaments to nature's ingenuity, thriving where others falter and adapting to overcome the immense pressures of a world cloaked in ice and snow. In the silent, snowbound forests of North America, the bobcat and the great grey owl stand as silent, efficient masters of their frozen domain, each a marvel of adaptation, each a survivor of winter's ultimate test. While predators patrol the surface, a hidden world teems with life just beneath the snow. Here, beneath the frozen crust, an intricate network of tunnels and chambers forms a secret society invisible to the untrained eye. For the humble vole, a record snowfall is not a disaster but a blessing. The snowpack becomes a fortress, shielding them from the icy winds and the talons of owls circling above. The deep snowpack creates an insulated, subnivean world, a network of tunnels and chambers protected from the biting winds and the watchful eyes of aerial predators above. Here, the temperature remains stable and the air is still, allowing life to flourish in the most unlikely of places. In this secret realm, voles nest, forage for grasses and roots, and raise their young in relative safety. But they are not alone in this underworld. The snow acts as a thick, protective blanket, keeping the temperature at ground level just around freezing, even when the air above is dangerously cold. This insulation is vital for the survival of countless small creatures. This subterranean world is not exclusive to voles. Shrews, with their insatiable appetites, dart through the tunnels, hunting insects and larvae that remain active in the moist darkness. Mice, lemmings, and even the elusive ermine, its white winter coat blending perfectly with the snow, move silently through this hidden labyrinth. Along the frozen rivers of Minnesota, beavers and otters have formed an unlikely partnership. But even here, the under-ice world is alive with more than just these familiar faces. The beavers, having spent the autumn diligently building their lodges and stockpiling a larder of branches underwater, remain active throughout the winter. Their lodges, with underwater entrances, are marvels of engineering, providing warmth and safety. They travel between their warm, secure dens and their food stashes through channels beneath the ice. In these underwater corridors, freshwater crustaceans and aquatic insects remain active, feeding on decaying plant matter and providing a food source for other winter survivors. In doing so, beavers maintain crucial breathing holes in the frozen surface, which become vital for more than just themselves. These openings become a lifeline for river otters who are not equipped to create their own. The otters, agile and playful, slip through these holes to hunt for fish and crustaceans beneath the ice. The otters, sleek and playful, use these beaver-maintained holes to access the water below, where they can hunt for fish. Their streamlined bodies and thick fur allow them to thrive in the frigid water, chasing prey through the labyrinth of submerged roots and branches. This symbiotic relationship allows both species to survive in a landscape that would otherwise be inhospitable. But the under-ice world is also home to lesser-known creatures. Amphipods, tiny crustaceans, scuttle along the riverbed, while caddisfly larvae cling to submerged stones, their cases camouflaged against predators. The beavers provide the infrastructure, and the otters take advantage of it, a simple but effective form of cooperation forged by the necessities of winter. Even muskrats, smaller cousins of the beaver, build their own lodges and share the waterways, sometimes using abandoned beaver dens for shelter. It is a quiet alliance that highlights the interconnectedness of life in these cold ecosystems, where the actions of one species can directly benefit another, creating pathways for survival. The snowpack above is crisscrossed with the tracks of weasels, foxes, and even the rare lynx, all drawn by the promise of prey hidden below. Not all creatures are so well prepared. Some, like the northern bog lemming, rely on the thick mosses and sedges of peatlands, tunneling beneath the snow to find food and evade predators. A porcupine, for instance, might spend the autumn feasting to pack on weight, hoping to shelter in an abandoned burrow. But other animals, like the diminutive meadow-jumping mouse, enter a state of true hibernation, their heartbeat slowing to a near standstill as they wait for spring. But if a porcupine is caught out in the open, exposed on a tree branch as the worst of the cold sets in, its fate can be grim. The same is true for the short-tailed shrew, whose high metabolism means it must eat constantly, even in the depths of winter. Without adequate shelter, energy reserves are quickly depleted by the constant need to stay warm. For some, the snowpack is a lifeline. For others, it is a barrier that must be overcome. The porcupine's struggle is a stark reminder that even with adaptations, winter remains a formidable adversary. Yet beneath the snow, life persists in astonishing forms. Springtails, tiny hexapods, leap across the icy surface, while spiders and beetles remain active in the humid subnivean air. Survival often depends on a combination of preparation, adaptation, and a little bit of luck. In the hidden world of winter, every tunnel, every chamber, and every breath beneath the snow is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of nature's smallest survivors. In the heart of the Rocky Mountains, winter's grip can be relentless, refusing to loosen even as the calendar promises spring. For the wild inhabitants of these rugged peaks, the end of winter is not a sudden event, but a slow, uncertain transition, a time when survival demands every ounce of instinct and adaptation. A lingering winter, marked by late snowfalls and a hesitant thaw, transforms the landscape into a world of challenge and opportunity. The snowpack remains deep, blanketing the forests and meadows, and the promise of new growth is delayed. For the animals, this means a prolonged test of endurance. Elk herds, which have spent the harshest months in sheltered valleys, find themselves unable to return to the higher elevations where fresh grasses will eventually emerge, Instead, they linger in the lowlands, their numbers growing as more animals descend in search of food and safety. Here, in the cold embrace of late winter, the females give birth. The timing is critical. Calves are born into a world still dominated by snow, their first breaths taken in frigid air, their first steps uncertain on icy ground. The concentration of elk in these lower valleys creates both safety in numbers and heightened risk. Predators emerging from their own winter refuges are drawn to the herds. The snow makes movement difficult, but it also reveals every track, every scent, every sign of vulnerability. Newborn calves, their coats still damp and their legs trembling, are especially at risk. Their mothers stand guard, ever watchful, using their bodies to shield the young from biting winds and prowling threats. Black bears, roused from months of hibernation, move silently through the trees. Their senses are sharp, their hunger acute. The bears' long sleep has left them lean and driven, and they are quick to seize any opportunity the lingering cold presents. The elk search for the last remnants of winter forage, scraping through snow to find withered grasses and bark. With spring's bounty still weeks away, every mouthful is precious. For the predators, the scarcity of other food makes the vulnerable calves an even more tempting prize. The herd is on constant alert. Mothers form protective circles around their young, their ears flicking at every sound, their eyes scanning the white silence for movement. When danger approaches, they stamp and snort, ready to defend with hooves and courage. The survival of the next generation depends on these tense weeks. If the thaw comes soon, the calves will have a chance to grow strong on new grass. If winter lingers, many will not survive, and the herd's future will hang in the balance. Elsewhere, beneath a drift of snow, a young grizzly bear stirs. She has spent the long winter in a den carved into the hillside, her body slowed to a near standstill, her heart beating just a few times each minute. Now, as the world outside remains locked in cold, she emerges, alone for the first time, having recently parted from her mother. The snow is deep, the air sharp, and every step is a test of her strength and resolve. For nearly half a year she has eaten nothing, relying on the fat reserves built up during the last autumn's feast. Her body is thin, her muscles weak, but her instincts are strong. Driven by hunger, she searches the snowy landscape for anything edible. She's inexperienced, her hunting skills untested, and the world is still unforgiving. She sniffs the air, searching for the faintest trace of food, roots, insects, or the remains of another animal. Every calorie counts, and every discovery is a small victory. Unable to bring down prey herself, she turns to scavenging, following the scent of death through the snow. In these lean times, the remains of a fallen animal can mean the difference between life and death. The wind carries the scent of a bison carcass, an animal that did not survive the winter's trials. For the young bear, this is a lifeline, a chance to replenish her strength and continue her journey. She approaches cautiously, her senses alert for other scavengers. The snow muffles her steps as she draws near, her hunger overwhelming her caution. With each mouthful, she regains the energy lost during her long sleep. The meat and fat provide the fuel she needs to survive the final weeks of cold and prepare for the coming spring. For a young bear, scavenging is not just a fallback, it is a crucial adaptation, a way to bridge the gap between hibernation and the abundance of summer. In this frozen world, the death of one animal sustains many others. Wolves, birds, and bears all play their part in the cycle, each adapting to the hardships of lingering winter in their own way. The story of elk and bears in a lingering cold is one of resilience and adaptation. Each day brings new challenges, and only those who can endure, adapt, and learn will survive to see the first green shoots of spring. For the young and inexperienced, the lessons of this season are harsh, but they are the foundation of survival in a world where winter's end is only the beginning of nature's next great test. In the heart of winter's icy grip, life does not merely endure, it flourishes in ways both astonishing and beautiful. The thunderous clash of bighorn sheep atop snow-draped cliffs is more than a contest of strength. It is a celebration of vitality, a testament to the will to survive and thrive even when the world is locked in frost. Each breath, visible in the frigid air, is a declaration of persistence. The emperor penguin, steadfast and unyielding, weathers the most brutal storms on Earth. Huddled together, they form a living fortress against the cold, each individual a vital part of a greater whole. The Arctic fox, wrapped in its snowy coat, becomes one with the landscape, a master of camouflage and patience. These are not mere acts of survival, but intricate dances of adaptation, each movement, each instinct, honed by countless winters past. Predators, too, rise to the challenge. The silent wolf glides through the forest, its senses sharpened by the hush of snow. The polar bear, ruler of the ice, moves with purpose across the frozen sea, its every step a lesson in patience and power. The snow leopard, ghost of the mountains, weaves through blizzards with unmatched grace, a living embodiment of winter's wild spirit. Beneath the ice, life is equally ingenious. Beavers engineer sturdy lodges, transforming frozen ponds into sanctuaries of warmth and safety. Otters, playful and resourceful, share breathing holes in the ice, their cooperation a quiet marvel. Each footprint in the snow tells a story of movement, of purpose, of life continuing against all odds. The emperor penguin father, fasting for months while cradling a fragile egg, embodies a devotion that defies the elements. The Pacific walrus, bound to the ever-shifting sea ice, demonstrates a profound connection to its environment, adapting to every change, with resilience and grace. The great grey owl, gliding silently above the snow, and the vole, tunneling in the hidden world beneath, reveal that winter's surface conceals a vibrant, bustling realm of opportunity and refuge. The snowy blanket above is not a barrier, but a shelter. Beneath it, voles carve intricate tunnels, safe from the cold and the keen eyes of predators. The young grizzly bear, learning to scavenge in the snow, takes its first steps toward independence, guided by instinct and necessity. The beaver and otter, sharing a single hole in the ice, remind us that even in the harshest times, cooperation can be the key to survival. These creatures are not passive in the face of winter's challenge. They are innovators, architects and adventurers, each one shaping its destiny through courage, ingenuity, and the relentless drive to live. The bighorn ram's battle secures the future of its kind, while the snow leopard's silent pursuit ensures the balance of its mountain home. Every adaptation, every strategy is a triumph of life over adversity. In the frozen silence, there is a profound beauty, a tapestry woven from the threads of resilience and adaptation. The diversity of life in these coldest places is a living testament to nature's boundless creativity. Here, in the world's most unforgiving environments, life not only survives, it radiates with strength and wonder. Each animal, each moment, is a celebration of the unbreakable spirit that defines the wild. This is the triumph of life in a frozen world, a story of hope, of perseverance, and of the breathtaking beauty that emerges when nature is tested to its limits. Amid the endless white expanse, a diminutive figure glides across the snow, almost invisible, yet perfectly attuned to its icy domain. The Arctic fox is a true master of winter survival, its every feature honed by generations of adaptation to the most extreme cold on Earth. With a coat that grows denser and whiter as temperatures plummet, the Arctic fox becomes a living ghost, vanishing into the landscape. This flawless camouflage is its first line of defense, shielding it from predators and giving it the element of surprise as it hunts. But survival here demands more than invisibility. The Arctic fox's keen sense of hearing allows it to detect the faintest rustle beneath the snow, voles, lemmings, and other hidden prey. With a sudden leap, it plunges headfirst into the powder, emerging with a meal clutched in its jaws. This hunting technique, both precise and energetic, is a dance perfected by necessity. Resourcefulness is the fox's greatest ally. When prey is scarce, it follows polar bears to scavenge leftovers or caches surplus food beneath the snow for leaner times. Its compact body, rounded ears and bushy tail minimize heat loss, while thick fur even covers its paws, creating natural snowshoes for silent, efficient movement. Through blizzards and biting winds, the Arctic fox endures. It curls tightly into a ball, tail wrapped around its face, conserving warmth as the temperature drops far below freezing. Every adaptation, every behavior is a testament to resilience, a life lived on the edge, yet never conquered by the cold. In the vast silence of the Arctic winter, the fox's journey is a story of ingenuity and grace, a reminder that even in the harshest places, life finds a way not just to survive, but to thrive. Above the endless tundra, where the horizon blurs into a silvery haze, a silent hunter glides, spectral and regal. The snowy owl, with its luminous white plumage and piercing golden eyes, is an icon of the Arctic winter, perfectly crafted for this realm of perpetual frost. Its feathers, thick and layered, form a seamless barrier against the cold, cloaking even its legs and toes in warmth. As the wind howls across the open expanse, the snowy owl remains unruffled, its body heat-sealed within, its camouflage flawless against the snow-swept ground. Perched atop a lonely rise or drifting silently on broad wings, the owl scans the tundra with uncanny precision. Its hearing is so acute, it can detect the faint scurry of a lemming beneath a thick crust of snow. With a sudden, calculated swoop, it plunges talons first, breaking through the surface and snatching its prey in a single fluid motion. Through the long, star-lit polar nights, these owls hunt tirelessly, their keen eyes cutting through darkness and twilight alike. But winter is not only a test of hunting skill, it is also the season of survival for the next generation. In the brief summer, snowy owls build their nests on exposed patches of earth, scraping shallow bowls in the tundra's moss and lichen. Here they lay their eggs, fiercely guarding them against foxes and other predators. As winter returns, the young must learn quickly, shadowing their parents across the frozen landscape, mastering the art of stealth and patience. Every movement, every adaptation is a product of millennia spent in the world's harshest climate. The snowy owl's life is a delicate balance between abundance and scarcity, visibility and invisibility, silence and the sudden burst of flight. In the icy heart of the tundra, these magnificent birds embody the spirit of endurance. They are the ghosts of winter, eternal, elusive, and utterly at home in a land where only the strongest survive. Beneath the windswept snows of the Arctic tundra, an unseen drama unfolds, a world shaped not by giants, but by the smallest of survivors. The lemming, a creature no larger than a clenched fist, is the quiet architect of this frozen underworld. While the surface lies locked in ice and silence, lemmings remain active, carving intricate tunnels through the insulating layer of snow. These passageways crisscross the landscape, hidden from predators above and shielded from the worst of winter's chill. Within these snowy corridors, lemmings create cozy nests lined with grasses and moss, stockpiling food gathered during the fleeting summer months. Here they nibble on sedges and roots, sustaining themselves through the long polar night. Their constant movement and foraging keep the tunnels open, aerating the soil and spreading seeds, nurturing the tundra even as it sleeps beneath the frost. Every day is a test of vigilance. The snow's protection is not absolute. Predators like the stoat or the snowy owl may break through in search of a meal. Yet lemmings have honed a suite of survival tactics, quick reflexes, labyrinthine escape routes, and a remarkable ability to sense vibrations in the snow, alerting them to approaching danger. But the lemming's impact extends far beyond its own survival. As a keystone of the Arctic food web, its population booms and crashes ripple through the ecosystem. influencing the fortunes of predators and shaping the rhythm of life in this frigid realm. In the shadows beneath the snow, the humble lemming is both prey and provider, an unsung hero of winter's delicate balance. In the heart of the frozen wilderness, where silence reigns and the wind carves icy sculptures across the plains, a shadow moves with purpose. The wolf, icon of winter's wild, thrives where others falter. For these apex predators, survival is not a solitary struggle, but a symphony of teamwork, loyalty, and cunning. Within the pack, bonds run deep. Each wolf, from the seasoned alpha to the youngest pup, has a role to play. Communication is constant. A chorus of howls, subtle body language, and gentle nuzzles reinforce unity and strategy. In the vast, snow-blanketed expanse, this collective spirit is their greatest strength. Hunting in winter is a test of both patience and precision. Prey is scarce, and the snow conceals every movement. The pack fans out, reading the land, each paw step calculated, every breath a whisper on the wind. When a herd of elk or caribou is found, wolves rely on coordinated tactics honed over generations. Flankers drive the herd, isolating the weak or unwary, while others cut off escape routes. The chase is relentless, a dance of endurance and intelligence against the backdrop of biting cold. After the hunt, the spoils are shared. The pack gathers, muzzles dusted with frost, each member taking its turn at the feast. Even the smallest pups are fed, a testament to the pack's code. Survival is communal, and every life matters. Yet winter's challenges are relentless. Blizzards can erase scent trails, and hunger gnaws at empty bellies. But the wolves endure, adapting to the ever-shifting landscape. Their thick coats shield them from the cold, and their keen senses pierce the darkness. Together they press on, their tracks weaving stories across the snow. In this frozen world, the wolf is more than just a predator. It is a symbol of resilience, of the power found in unity, and of the wild spirit that thrives even in the harshest embrace of winter. Beneath the towering pines and snow-laden branches, another winter survivor moves with silent grace. The pine marten, slender, elusive, and swift, embodies the art of agility in a world muffled by frost. Draped in a coat of golden-brown fur, this small carnivore is perfectly designed for life in the boreal forest. Its bushy tail provides balance, while semi-retractable claws and flexible ankles make it a master climber, able to leap from branch to branch with effortless precision. Winter's chill blankets the forest floor, but the pine marten thrives above, weaving through the labyrinth of snow-laden limbs. Here, it hunts with a mix of patience and daring, its keen eyes and acute hearing tuned to the faintest rustle. Voles, mice, and even squirrels are pursued in a relentless chase, the marten's sleek body twisting through narrow gaps and plunging into burrows hidden beneath the snow. Adaptation is key in this frozen world. As temperatures plummet, the pine marten's dense fur traps precious warmth, while its slender frame slips easily through tunnels carved by prey. When food is scarce, it raids bird nests, caches leftovers, or scavenges what it can find. Every movement is calculated, every hunt a blend of instinct and learned skill. But life for the pine marten is not without risk. Larger predators prowl the same forests, and competition for food is fierce. Yet it is the marten's agility, intelligence, and tenacity that allow it to flourish where others might falter. As the pale winter sun filters through the evergreens, the pine marten continues its dance, a nimble shadow in the snowbound silence, a testament to nature's ingenuity in the heart of the winter woods. Beneath the stillness of frozen rivers, another world endures, hidden from the biting wind and the pale winter light. Here, beneath a thick sheet of ice, aquatic life persists in a realm of silence and shadow. The river's surface may be locked in winter's grip, but below the water flows, dark and cold, sustaining a delicate balance of life. Fish, such as trout and pike, slow their movements, conserving precious energy as their metabolism drops with the temperature. They seek out deeper pools, where the water remains just above freezing, a sanctuary insulated by the icy barrier above. Gills move slowly, drawing oxygen from the sluggish current as the fish drift in near-suspended animation, waiting for the sun's return. Amphibians like frogs and salamanders embrace a different strategy. Some burrow into the riverbed mud, their bodies entering a state of dormancy known as brumation. Their hearts beat ever slower, and their breathing nearly stops. Here, in the cold darkness, they survive for months, relying on stored energy and absorbing oxygen through their skin. Even in the harshest cold, life adapts. Microorganisms continue their unseen cycles, recycling nutrients and supporting the food web from below. Tiny invertebrates scuttle across the riverbed, providing sustenance for the fish that linger in the gloom. Above, the ice forms a protective shield, muffling the world's chaos and preserving the fragile ecosystem beneath. In this hidden domain, survival is a quiet triumph, a testament to nature's resilience and the enduring mystery of the winter river. Above the frozen rivers and snow-laden forests, a different kind of winter tale unfolds, one written on the vast canvas of the sky. For countless migratory birds, the arrival of winter is not an invitation to endure, but a call to embark on one of nature's most astonishing journeys. As the days shorten and the cold deepens, flocks gather in restless anticipation. Instinct and memory guide them, honed across generations, from tundra swans and snow geese to sandhill cranes and tiny warblers. Each species charts its own path, some traveling thousands of miles to reach distant, warmer lands. For many, the journey is perilous, a test of endurance, navigation, and the will to survive. High above the earth, formations ripple across the sky, V-shaped skeins slicing through icy winds. Birds use celestial cues, the position of the sun and stars, and even the Earth's magnetic field to find their way. Some, like Arctic terns, complete the longest migration of any animal on the planet, crossing from the polar north to the farthest reaches of the southern hemisphere and back again. Others, such as snow buntings, brave shorter but no less daunting routes, hugging coastlines and mountain passes. During their epic flights, migratory birds face relentless challenges. They battle storms, evade predators, and endure hunger and fatigue. Yet, in the face of adversity, they display remarkable adaptations. Some species can sleep while gliding, their brains resting in shifts. Others fuel their journey by gorging before departure, storing energy in their bodies to sustain them across vast, barren stretches. At stopover sites, hidden wetlands, windswept islands, or sheltered forests, flocks pause to rest and refuel. Here the air bursts with life, a fleeting congregation of wings and song before the journey resumes. As winter tightens its grip on the north, these travelers press onward, driven by the promise of survival and the eternal pull of the seasons. In the endless cycle of migration, each bird is both voyager and survivor. Their journeys knit together distant continents and disparate habitats, a living thread that connects the world through the rhythm of wings. Even in the heart of winter, the sky is alive with movement, an epic testament to endurance, instinct, and the indomitable spirit of life in motion. In the silent heart of winter, nature crafts a masterpiece invisible to the hurried eye, a world shaped by the delicate architecture of snowflakes. Each flake begins its journey as a single speck of dust or pollen high in the coldest reaches of the atmosphere. Here, water vapor clings to the tiny nucleus, freezing in perfect symmetry. As it tumbles earthward, the flake encounters shifting temperatures and humidity, its crystal lattice branching and blossoming into forms as unique as fingerprints. No two snowflakes are ever truly alike. Their diversity is infinite. Thin needles, intricate plates, hollow columns, and the iconic six-armed stars. Each form is a silent record of the air currents, moisture, and temperature it has traveled through. Under a microscope, their symmetry reveals the hidden mathematics of nature, a dance of molecules locked in fractal beauty. But snowflakes are more than fleeting wonders. As they drift down, they blanket the land in a mosaic of shapes, transforming forests, fields, and rivers. This blanket insulates the earth below, sheltering seeds, burrowing creatures, and even the roots of ancient trees from winter's harshest breath. Beneath the snow, life persists, a secret world warmed by the very crystals that chill the air above. Snowflakes also sculpt the landscape, shaping the contours of drifts and feeding the slow pulse of rivers when spring returns. Their arrival signals a shift in the winter ecosystem. Predators move with caution, prey find new hiding places, and the world grows quieter, hushed by a million falling stars. In every flake there is both science and poetry, a reminder that even in the coldest season, nature's creativity is boundless. The next time the sky releases its frozen confetti, remember each snowflake is a fleeting miracle, a silent architect of winter's wonder.